You can imagine how much I would love to see that. My fist smacking his face.
If David Haye will be ready to fight anytime.
Now that I'm the champion, when it comes time to sit down and negotiate, as long as they're reasonable, as long as they're fair, which I've always been, then the fight will happen.
Wladimir, what's your take on why this has never happened so far?
Well, we gave a chance to David Haye more than once to fight us. He bailed out. I don't want to pronounce other words, but he bailed out each time, and he's finding excuses. You know, the contract didn't fit well, this and that. With this story with the contract, also Frank Warren mentioned it today. It wasn't any issues. We signed it right away. You know, like standard. And David Haye signed the contract before when he's supposed to fight me.
Is the money fine? What's the real issue here?
It's just an excuse. He's a coward and he's a liar. And David Haye is just finding another excuse now not fight one of the Klitschko brothers because he knows he's gonna get killed. He said, next year I'm gonna be 31 and I won't fight again. So another excuse is preparing, you know. If something with Klitschko's won't happen, you know, he says, oh, you know what, I said before I'm going to retire. And, by the way, I want to tell you, he's a little by little, but he's starting to be a clown. You know, he performs, he's putting a lot of affection to himself, but at a certain time, it's good. He overbanned it. So boxing fans don't take him seriously anymore. And you know what? I'm really concerned about next fight. And I have actually a message to David Haye. Very short, takes 2 words. If you would have came right on me, I'll give you this message.
We're just watching him train at the moment. This is in preparation.
This is boring.
Audley Harrison.
This is boring. Walking heavy bag. He's punching a walking heavy bag. He was concerned about, you know, I'm so impressive fighter. Did you see the fight with Wladimir? He was like a chicken, dancing around and dancing around and dancing around, grabbing, scratching, pulled back. I mean, this is just disgusting.
What are the words to David Haye? What are the words?
And you know what, David? Please don't get KO'd in the next fight against Audley Harrison. Please. I'm begging you. Please, with a lot of ease.
Adam, this is getting
serious. Don't get KO'd. Okay? So
could he be against Audley Harrison? I think
telling
you're going to... Are you just going to...
It could happen. It could happen. I hope so that David gonna, you know, make the whole thing in the ring, but there is a chance by Audley Harrison to knock David Haye out.
Let's do a mocktail of this.
As my former sparring
just come out of the way a minute. Johnny wants to try
Wladimir Barrett knocked him down, you know, and David Haye had to get on his knee and, you know, recover and stuff like
Let's
that.
do a mocktail of the take. Okay. Now, I'm a strapping 6'3", just under
Yes.
fellow. A little bit taller than David, slimmer than Chisora.
Okay.
We've got to put it into perspective here, how tall you are, how long your reach is. Now, if you stick your reach out, how would the likes of David Haye or Chisora beat somebody like you?
Well, I'm telling... No. All right. Each of us has an advantage. Yeah. Of course, I have reach and this and that. Shorter guys, for example, Mike Tyson, he was probably even half a head shorter than you. And he was making his way, you know, get to the man and punch him closer. So the taller guy keeps, you know, trying to keep him the distance. Some guys like Riddick Bowe, I'm sorry. He was able to fight in a long distance, even if he was tall, but also in a short distance.
But that's what you do. That's what you do.
You want to beat me?
No.
No, but you listen.
You know I don't listen.
You know what? We can play chess. we can play chess, and then you can try to beat me, because boxing is a chess game. Believe it or not, but I got to know about it later than early in my career, because it's all about game plan. You know, it's just about strategy. It's not a street fight. It's a strategy. It's a plan, A, B, C, D if you need it. And then, you know, it's a chess game. And in the ring, it works exactly like I planned the preparation. That's how it works in the ring later on.
Does this put things into perspective size-wise?
Very much so. Very much so.
And you don't need to
Chisora
fight
Haye,
because
6'3", Wladimir
now,
6'7".
Now you're a professional anchorman, and this is my little gentleman. This is the money maker. So,
that's because you never got hit. You never wanted to get hit.
Keep it clear.
Oh, anyway, high in the Californian mountains. Meanwhile, Audley Harrison is holed up in camp. Reporter Ed Robinson, he's climbed up to 9,000 feet of altitude to join him.
Well, we're here in Big Bear, California, beautiful holiday resort, but a business trip for you, Audley, isn't it? How's the training going?
Yeah, training's going great. I've had a great camp, the best camp I've had as a professional, and can't wait till November 13 when I get to rip David Haye's WBA belt away from him.
Tell us why you're training out here.
Well, the attitude, the solitude, and the focus. You know, when you go to altitude, your body produces more red blood cells. You know, that's great for you. The solitude, you really can get focused. And I've never lost in Big Bear, and so you know I come up here and I pay the price, and I know I'm going to get a reward for my hard work.
Is it really personal between you, or is that just hype?
No, I'm going to teach David Haye a lesson. It's definitely personal. I'm going to teach him a lesson. But like I said, I'm doing it with love and compassion because, you know, I know David's talking like, oh, my ego and his ego, there's no comparison. What am I talking about? When I won the Olympics, I was as bigger than David Haye is today. And that's what I'm saying. But I was 17 and all. The Ring magazine had me in the future of the heavyweight division. My ego was running wild, right where David's ego is now. I mean, David ain't secured his legacy yet. He won the cruiserweight title, you've got to give him his credit for that. But you secure a legacy by longevity. You know, that's why you've got to give the Klitschko's credit. They've been around, they've created longevity. That's why Lennox is so great. He created longevity, he had his adversity, he came back. So David's still got it to prove, as far as I'm concerned. And his ego, he's going to get brought back down to earth on November the 30th.
Another British heavyweight, of course, in the news, Derek Chisora fighting Wladimir Klitschko. Do you give him a chance?
He's going to go out there and he's not going to be afraid of the occasion because he probably doesn't realise where he's at. And so that's actually a good thing for him. I think he's going to go for it. But I think, you know, Wladimir Klitschko is obviously proven now.
How good do you think Wladimir is?
You know, I think Wladimir has improved tremendously since going with Emmanuel Stewart. If you look at his losses, he's had 3 losses. They've all been by KO. I still think he has that same weakness, but I think offensively he's just so good. These guys can't get past his offense, you know. But defensively, I think he's the same fighter who lost to Ross Perot. He's the same fighter who lost to Corey Sanders, and the same fighter who lost to relentless Lehman Brewster. So I don't think that's changed. But I think offensively, he's just so good now with that jab, with his timing and distance. These guys don't know enough to close him down, and that's where I think Derek Chisora is going to struggle.
But obviously, you're concentrating on your fight with David Haye. Have you got a message for him in London?
Well, like I said, keep talking, David. Keep talking. I know you think on the night, November the 30th, is going to be your night, but I'm guaranteeing you the fight of your life, and November the 30th, no doubt in my mind, 100%, I'm taking that belt from you. Definitely. So, November 30th, tune in and check it out. You're going to see what the fuss is about. Audley Harrison, Olympic gold medalist, former European champion. He's going to do it November the 30th. Yes, I can. Yes, I will.
I've got to say, he does look in tremendous shape. Back to you.
He does that. He sounds confident. Wladimir, do you give Harrison a chance in this?
I will, Dave. I will give him a chance. And his experience, he's self-confident, as we saw in this line, in the last line. And I believe that probably David Haye is a little bit faster than Audley, but there is a good punching power that Audley Harrison has. So I really hope David please don't get killed. Please don't get killed in this fight.
He means getting knocked out, not killed. But Audley Harrison, you know, could be a potential opponent if he does manage to pull it off against David Haye. Have you considered that option?
Well, to the Klitschko brothers, it's interesting to get the only title that we don't have. So we'll get all the titles, but that will be a title. And if Audley Harrison gonna win this fight, which I think could happen, otherwise boxing will be boring, right? then of course we will follow the goal, you know, to get the last title that we don't have.
As we know, anything can happen in heavyweight boxing. It's great having one big fighting name in town, but we're